Yo guys, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's well. Welcome back to my channel. Now, for those of you that are new, it would be awesome if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss any of my future videos. And just leave a like at the end of this video as it helps me out a lot. Now, we are going to be going over liquidity because I've been asked by quite a few people now that I should do a liquidity video, so let's just jump straight into it. Now, liquidity essentially is where stop losses would be, okay? So if you look at a high and you look at a low, you have liquidity sitting at highs and lows. The reason why is because people leave stop losses just above a high and just below a low, okay? Now, there's different types of patterns. As you could think about retail traders, right? They trade trend lines. Now, if a retail trader is trading trend lines, then they're going to have stop losses just below the trend line. So there's all sorts of different patterns. There's ranging patterns, there's trend line patterns, there's double tops, triple tops, equal lows, equal highs. Like that, essentially they're all the same thing. Now, if we just start by doing a little drawing, okay, we have a low and a high. Okay, we're coming down, tapping into some demand, coming back up and hitting an equal high. Okay, now essentially on the third push up, right, in retails, they like to do a third touch is like a rule that they could sell off. Okay, now retail traders will be coming up here and placing orders. The reason why, because this is the third touch of the equal highs. Now there will be a lot of stop losses resting above here. Now the banks are essentially going to want to take out those stop losses by trading straight through. Okay, so you would expect to move up and we'll take the liquidity, class as a liquidity sweep. Okay, then you could be expecting a down move which will form a chuck, and we could be looking to enter off the supply in these areas here. But that's just an equal high. Now I would just draw out a few types of liquidity patterns just so you can see that. Now you could have, let's say we've got a trend line pattern, there's forming trend lines. Retail traders will be looking at getting in at these lows, so they've stop losses all the way down. We could form it up, we could tap in and then take liquidity like so. And then there's obviously ranging patterns where we start ranging in a certain area and you have liquidity above the highs and the lows, and you could expect to take the lows and the highs, or either the high and then the low. Like, it doesn't really matter when you're ranging. It's kind of like where is price actually heading. You see which liquidity gets taken first and then you start looking for your entries. Okay, now I was just drawing this out for like the new people into the market, so we can now jump over to the live charts and I'll just show you a few patterns and stuff within the actual live markets. Okay guys, so now we've actually jumped back onto the candle chart to discuss liquidity. You can see here there's a perfect example from today's London session on Euro USD. Okay, now I have this Asia high and lows placed on my charts. The reason why is because what you can expect in the London opening, okay, is Asia lows or Asia highs could be taken as they are resting liquidity. Now, as you can see here with this perfect example, we have equal lows resting right here now. Okay, now this is actually the lowest point on the Asia session. That's why it's marked in the box. Now, as it being the lowest point and there being equal lows, you could expect price to take that liquidity. Okay, now like I just drew out, we took the low and then we took the high, causing a change of character. This was the demand that was unmitigated with imbalance above. Now, imbalance as well essentially is liquidity. It's where there's been in this example here, buyers took over sellers, leaving a gap within the market. Okay, now orders need to be filled in these areas, so you could expect price to come back. I just seen 222. You could expect price to come back, tapping into this demand zone and clearing the orders that were left in that imbalance. Okay, now there's many other examples of liquidity. You can see here there's relatively equal lows. You could expect the price in the near future to come and take that. You could also see here, let me just get a drawing tool up. Okay, you could also see here we have equal lows. Now that is liquidity forming as well, as retailers could be looking at getting in around these area here and placing the stop losses just below. And as you can see, price comes back in, maybe falling retailers into this entry and then pushing straight through, taking the liquidity over here. Okay, now if we just keep looking as well, you can see here there's trend line liquidity. Now this is actually live, so we haven't taken this liquidity yet, but if you're looking at this area, you could expect the price to come back down, taking this liquidity, and more time it probably will. If we quickly jump over to the 15-minute time frame, we can look at EU and C. Okay, now yeah, like this is the origin zone that actually caused a shock on the 15-minute time frame. Because we've actually broken this zone here, I could expect price now to come back down, tapping into this origin, collecting orders, and then on the way doing that, it would have to take the liquidity that was resting here. But let's move back onto the 1 minute time frame and look at more liquidity examples. Oh, I ain't going to go too long with this video. I'm going to keep it quite short and nice and just simple, really, because liquidity is simple at the end of the day. It's nothing too hard to understand. Essentially, if you look at the patterns and think about it, it makes sense. When you have retail traders jumping in these zones and the stop losses are just above, that's money resting in the market. So you would expect the banks to take that money. Now if you're trading with the banks, you could also expect that to be taken as well. So let's just keep looking through. If we just scroll through, we'll see, because I mark liquidity quite often, we will see some liquidity patterns. Okay, now liquidity just isn't just patterns. Liquidity is above every high and low. Let's say you have a weak high. Now what makes a weak high? Okay, this here is a weak high. Why? Because this low that put this high in place didn't get broken. It actually respected this low and pushed straight through, making it a weak high. Now you could expect that high to be taken. Why? Because it's weak. Now that is also liquidity. Okay, even a strong low is liquidity. And we've also formed here a double bottom that you could expect in the near future to be taken. This was the London Open, as it was just after the Asia close. And as you can see, price pushes down, takes the liquidity on the London Open and takes the demand from liquidity to push back down to the origin 15 demand. Now let's just keep going away. Also liquidity again is the Asia high. You can expect liquidity from the Asia high to be taken. Now it's not just Asia sessions, you have London session liquidity, you have New York session liquidity, and so on. Now as you can see, if we just keep strolling, let me just make this nicer to see. We have liquidity here. We essentially have like a trend line pattern here. That price comes back up, taking liquidity, tapping into supply levels. We also have relatively equal lows. Price comes down, taking liquidity, tapping into these lows. Now this is all I'm really going to do in this video. We will go more into depth in future videos, but for now we'll just leave it there. Like, I just made it quite simple for you guys to understand what liquidity is. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, as that would definitely help me out. And for anyone who's interested, I do have a full course and mentorship where we go full into depth into all of these concepts. And we also, that trade I just shown you has had a full breakdown from top down order flow, so you don't want to be missing out on those breakdowns. Just go into the description and scroll down, you'll see the link to my website. But that's it for now. I hope everyone is well. Goodbye.